A storm is brewing in Boldmere, but it's not the weather we're interested in here at the Boldmere Community Stadium. Coventry Sphinx have gone through the opposition with the force of a hurricane in recent weeks, with only high-flying Corby able to take points from the Sphinx after Christmas. Their next test, a Mike's side just 4 points above the Sky Blue and Whites in the Northern Premier League table. A battle of fine margins can be the only expectation in this particular corner of Sutton Coldfield, and you won't miss a thing with extended coverage sponsored by Hill Contractors and commentary from Liam Cook. In an ideal world, Coventry Sphinx would stick with a side little change in this fantastic run of form. However, Tuesday's victory at Rushden, although remarkable, has left the Sky Blue and White short on wing backs. Joe Percy limped off early with a knee problem, while Jordan Hayward aggravated a tight hamstring. Riley Nicholson returned to training this week after suffering a pulled quad, but isn't yet match fit. In come Rowan Nui for his first start of the new year, and Luke Shearer making his full Coventry Sphinx debut. Boldmere enlist 4 alterations in a much changed side from their defeat at Quorn last week. Local lad Tyler Donaldson and midfielder Corey Cooper both dropped to the bench. Well, there's no place in the matchday squad for Joe Blowers or Kevin Ngombe. AJ Adamu and Hisham Chia are both drafted into the front line. Pierre Phillips fills in at centre-back as Jake Wilkes slots into midfield. The referee this afternoon is Thomas Hales. Welcome one and all to a bright and sunny Boldmere Community Stadium. Not at all what we expected with the storm and a Storm Owen expected to hit the Midlands in the next couple of days, but it seems as if we've missed out on the worst of the weather, and we are set to go for another thrilling afternoon of pitching in Northern Premier League football. Let's get you into the starting lineups now. Coventry Sphinx in their away strip once again, the red and navy hoops with red shorts and red socks. So they line up as follows for Coventry Sphinx. Number 1, Charlie Woods. 2, Kyle Burke. 3, Finley Shorrock. Number 4, Jack Downs. 5, Lewis Guest. Number 6, Jamie Draper. 7, Rowan Nui. 8, Captain Callum Woodward. Number 9, Harry Wakefield. 10, Kyle Carey. And number 11 is Luke Shearer. We are underway at the Boldmere Community Stadium. Coventry Sphinx kicking from right to left. And into the Boldmere starting line. Number 1, Jonathan Brown. 2, Ben George. 3, D'Amico Burton. 4, George Cleat. 5, Pierre Phillips. 6, Mason Rees. 7, Jake Wilkes. 8, Stephen Palmer. 9, AJ Adamu. 10, Hisham Chia. And number 11 is Theo Rowe. Dangerous ball already back to the goalkeeper from D'Amico Burton, but Jonathan Brown clears well. Down the skewer of the park it goes. Lewis Guest collects for Coventry Sphinx in his own backyard. Woods hurried into action by Adamu. Drifts towards the right-hand side in front of the home dugout. Nui gets his bonce on that one. Carey expecting him to play in a number 10 role today behind the front three. A little push in the back on Rowan Nui on the right-hand side of the penalty area. D'Amico Burton falls foul of the flag. And Coventry Sphinx have the first set piece of the game. Inside the first minute, Coventry Sphinx with a promising position. It will be Finley Shorrock to whip it in from the right. Downs, Woodward and Burke staying back. Everyone out in and around that penalty area looking to make the decisive impact. Referee giving instructions to Chia and Wilkes in the wall. It's in by Shorrock, and almost for the second time in a week, Coventry Sphinx scoring direct from a free kick. It was Callum Woodward on Tuesday night at AFC Rushden Diamonds, and Shorrock wasn't a million miles from making it 2 in 7 days. Jonathan Brown collecting the ball near the old pitch entrance, which was located to the left of us in the corner. The area of the pitch has now been redeveloped into a kids area. And the new state-of-the-art changing rooms on the far side of the field have been completed for a couple of years now. And Ben George absolutely furious. The ball was launched out from the goal kick from Brown. Boldmere assumed it was going to be their free kick, but the referee deciding in favour of Sphinx, leaving George incensed. It bounces into the midfield with Callum Woodward. Headed away by Cleat, the captain. Palmer. And Wakefield snatches it away in a dangerous position. Wakefield punched away by Jonathan Brown. Coventry Sphinx starting brightly. 3 minutes in, they've already had 2 decent efforts at goal. And they may get a third with this corner kick. Well, no doubt about who the stronger side looks at the moment. Shark on set piece duty again from the right-hand side. Shark's delivery, it will be collected all the way on the other side of the box by Harry Wakefield. Cleat tries to force him away. Down line with Kyle Carey, we know what he can do with the ball with his feet. Shearer in support, directly in by Kyle Carey. Ben George able to find the teammate in Mason Reese on the edge of the area, tries to clear, cannons off a Sphinx man, and hook down the right-hand side for a Coventry Sphinx throw-in. Will it be kept in fact, now by Jamie Draper? No, it won't. It's one of the best efforts of AJ Adamu in front of us. So a couple of yards into Boldmere territory, Finley Shark with ball in hand. Shearer up line. And Luke Shearer on his full Coventry Sphinx debut is found. Shorrock floated over the heads of Harry Wakefield, and easy pickings for Brown between the sticks. We'll endeavour to tell you what's going on around the ground in the pitching in Northern Premier League Midlands. Lots of action happening. Unfortunately, not at Hayden Road. A very late cancellation in the game between AFC Rushden and Diamonds and Quorn. Maybe trying to get a little rest ahead of the return leg of that double header. Coventry Sphinx 2-1 victors at AFC Rushden and Diamonds on Tuesday night. And we do it all again at Sphinx Drive on Saturday. Next Saturday, that is. Boldmere, recent victims of the runaway Quorn train. They'll have to get back on form. Throwing coming in from the left-hand side towards Adamu. Strong header clear by Guest. Hooked on by Rowan Nui, back in by Reese. Sphinx holding Boldmere at bay so far. They'll have another throw-in. And Callum Woodward unhappy with one part of the move there, but the referee tells the players to get on with it. And we're going to have another effort coming in. Launched in from the left. Again, Guest is there to deal with it mid-air. Carey hooks it on. Shearer, clearly a free kick there. Pierre Phillips leaping into the back of Coventry Sphinx's number 11, Luke Shearer. Shearer making the run, and Woodward spots it. And that's a beautiful ball down the left. Shearer trying to cut in on Phillips. Lunging by Phillips, couldn't make any impression on Shearer. Flicked it on for Finley Sharrock. And a free kick given against Finley Sharrock there, trying to prevent the ball from going out of play. Just clipped the leg of Phillips. And right side of the box, just by the touchline, it will be a Boldmere ball. Brown with the free kick. There it goes. 2 minutes for it. And it's Palmer who gets the final touch in front of Jack Downs, out for the throw halfway to Sphinx turf. Shark thought about the quick one to Callum Woodward, and now the referee has to take a couple of yards further back. It's off the shoulder of Kyle Carey, and Carey having his arm felt there by Mason Reese. We'll have to keep an eye on that battle. Ben George taking his time with this one. Along the right touchline, Palmer up for it. Headed back where it came from by Downs. George on again, flicked on by Chia. Guest finds Sharrock, and Sharrock flicked it out for the Boldmere throw-in just down line from the Sphinx penalty area. Slow but steady progress made for the Mikes, who have not landed a blow on the Sphinx in the opening 7 minutes. And once again, the referee feeling the wrath of George there as he's asking the throw to be retaken in the correct position. And no uncertain terms, Ben George ordered by the referee, Mr. Hales, to come for a chat, and it's not going to be a polite chat. Mr. Hales asserting his authority. Throw in taken to Rowe. It's a heavy touch by Rowe. Wakefield takes advantage. Look for Kyle Carey. Blasted out for the Coventry Sphinx. Throw in deep into their own backyard. No nonsense stuff from Mason Reese, preventing a counter. Throw a Shorrock. Wakefield's header couldn't find the teammate. Neither could Hesham Shia. Midfield scramble eventually picked up on the left wing by Finley Shorrock. Curling ball along the left-hand side, but safely back with Brown. Under pressure from Wakefield, forces the sharpish goal kick. And Sphinx will come back for more. It's not the best of kicks from Brown. Shorrock again looking for an option down the left-hand side. Cushions it down from Pierre Phillips, who tried to clear. Shearer blocked off by several black and white shirts in front of him. And Boldmere clear the lines all the way back to Jamie Draper. And now it's with Coventry's man at the moment, really. Charlie Woods, an incredible run of form for the Sphinx shot stopper. Offside flag raised on this near side against Theo Rowe as Boldmere look to kickstart their move after latching onto the clearance from Woods. Well, no final scores from the Premier League in the early kickoffs. In the Championship, Millwall 1-0 victors at Luton. Norwich 5-1 at home to Swansea. 0-0 between the former Sky Blues manager Mark Robbins and his Stoke team against Oxford. And in the League One games, Cambridge 3, Mansfield 2, Huddersfield 0, Bolton 1. And in League Two, Bradford 3, Walsall 0. And it ended scoreless between Milton Keynes Dons and AFC Rushden. And so AFC Wimbledon, I should say. AFC Rushden Diamonds aren't playing today because their game was called off. Shorrock intercepts from the throw. Wakefield looks to bring it down under pressure from Fierce off the shoulder there of Harry Wakefield. Kyle Carey. Not back to Callum Woodward, nodded away from the area. Phillips can only find Carey, and Carey looking for a route in. Kyle Carey into the side netting, goal kick. 10 gone at the Boldmere Community Stadium, now known as the Amber Ground. Remains 0-0 between Coventry Sphinx and Boldmere St Michael's. We'll of course endeavour to keep you up to date what's going on at the CBS Arena as under fire Watford manager Tom Cleverley hopes to resurrect his career at Watford at Frank Lampard's Coventry City. Jamie Draper, no nonsense defending after that whip from the back. Cushion header out halfway into Sphinx turf. Artificial turf, of course, here at the Boldmere Community Stadium. Ensuring that the game is going to be on no matter what today. Burton. George Cleat, the skipper. Crossfield ball to George, and heavy touch by George allows the volley clear by Shorrock. Chest control on the halfway line by Phillips. It's a high one towards the right. Adami tries to bring it down. Lewis gets towering header, does well. Cushion down by Wakefield, but collected by Ben George, the right back of Boldmere St Michael's. Palmer. Play keep away with Callum Woodward. Switches the play over to D'Amico Burton. Plays the 1-2 with Theo Rowe. Wilkes. Going for glory, comes off the chest of Charlie Woods, and Guest ensures that there were no seconds to mop up for AJ Adamu. Corner kick for the Mikes. Theo Rowe, a familiar foe for Coventry Sphinx, to take the corner kick. Adamu swings at it. And trying to tuck it in at the near post was George Cleat. But on the slide, couldn't get the power behind it. Easy pickings in the end for Charlie Woods. And at the other end, Kyle Carey judges the bounce well. Nui looking to cut in from the right-hand side, covered up by Mason Reese. And Reese able to find a little bit of turf to get away from Rowan Nui. Adami receives it. Shoved towards the touchline by Jamie Draper. The final touch coming off Draper as Adami played it out off the centre-back's legs. It will be a throw-in deep into Sphinx territory for Boldmere, who are starting to get a foothold in this game. They're pitching in Northern Premier League Midlands. The long throw of Jake Wilkes to come for Boldmere St Michael's. Into the danger zone. Headed across by Jamie Draper. Shorrock beat into the punch by Ben George. George forced away from the box. Woodward in with a challenge on Stephen Palmer. Carey. Reese is not going to let that one go so easily, and Carey slides it away from Palmer. The second's collected in the end by George Cleat, but Palmer has gone down in a heap and seems in some considerable pain. Kyle Carey checking on his opponent. And it seems to be a painful one for the Mike's number 8. Well, no doubt the challenge was fair from Kyle Carey. Doesn't make it hurt any less. $13 gone. Boldmere St Michael's nil, Coventry Sphinx nil. Just to reiterate, there was no foul involved there. It will be a drop ball to get us started, but Stephen Palmer clearly in need of some medical attention. And the Boldmere subs going for a warm-up along the touchline. A round of the substitutes for Boldmere St Michael's: Corey Cooper, Charlie Manners, Lewis Allison, Nathan Aimade, and local lad Tyler Donaldson. Once, of course, the Coventry Sphinx youth system. Also a former player at Coventry United. And there's only been the one goal in the pitching in Northern Premier League Midlands so far, and that has gone to Sutton Coldfield Town at Hinckley LRFC, who are languishing at the wrong end of the table for their liking. And the referee is being called over by the linesman, and it appears that Neil Kitching, the Boldmere manager, has said something he shouldn't have. It was Ryan Edmonds who put Sutton Coldfield in front in the 4th minute at Leicester Road Stadium. And I mean, for that Coventry United have just gone in front of their game through James Ritson. Well, Palmer limps off the field. It's questionable whether he'll be able to return, but he seems willing to try. And the drop ball at the feet of Ben George, and Palmer is back on the field, but still not moving particularly well. Boldmere force all the way to their own backyard from the drop ball, sent high into the sky by Jonathan Brown. Downs beats the recovering Palmer. Down the left-hand side it goes, level with the penalty area, cut out by Pierre Phillips. Dangerous ball into Cleat, who gets there in front of Harry Wakefield, and the clearance cannons off Jack Downs. And the porters next to us are having to duck away from the ball. That's the danger of non-league. Always bring a crash at. Brown. Headed back way camera by Shearer. Woodward. Flicks it into the centre circle, and it's collected by D'Amico Burton. Rowe. Chests it to Wilkes. Excellent position, but little Boldmere forced back towards the halfway line. Rowe drives on again, flicked on by Chia. Theo Rowe. Adamu waiting in the area. Plays it low to behind Adamu, and thumped home by Ben George. Clinical strike from the Mike's right back, straight into the top corner. With really Boldmere's first opportunity of the game. Certainly the first opportunity that Sphinx would have had to worry about. A striker's finish that Ben George should certainly be happy about. Cracking effort in the end from Ben George, the number 2 of Boldmere St Michael's, with the clinical nature of a centre forward. And Boldmere take the lead at the Boldmere Community Stadium. Coventry Sphinx have not had to deal with this very often. Here's Callum Woodward latching onto it, lofts it into the area. Wakefield waiting, headed away by Phillips. Now Boldmere have got something to protect. Woodward caught as he launched the ball on. Running through the legs, I believe, was Mason Reese. After 17 minutes, Sphinx have to fight back. Woodward recovers and takes the free kick himself. Easily cleared by Burton. Shorrock. Little push in the back on Kyle Carey. In fact, opens the avenue for Wakefield on the left. Tries the cross. Cannons off Mason Reese. Throw in for the Sphinx, level with the area on the left side. Taking short to Wakefield. Shark again. Pulls it away from George. Shark's delivery. Guest is up there. And no, towards his own bottom corner there by Stephen Palmer. Thankfully, Jonathan Brown there to collect. But a dangerous effort back towards his own goal from the Boldmere number 8. Brown looks to calm things down. Sends it towards Adamu from the goal kick. Adamu will chase. And now towards his own goalkeeper by Lewis Guest, and did well to keep the effort just below the goalkeeper's chest. And him to land onto it. A couple of goals early on in the Premier League. Bournemouth 1-0 up at high-flying Nottingham Forest. And Southampton lead at home to Newcastle in the least derby-like game of the season. Sphinx are throwing on the far side of the field in front of the away dugout. Reminder of the Coventry Sphinx substitutes this afternoon. Alex Locke, Idris Fasani, Patrick Zito and Damien Kelly. And Fasani is going for a warm-up. Throw in, headed into the centre by Wakefield. Woodward look to hook it down the right for Rowan Nui, but it's too high, out for the throw. Sphinx have got to try and find their rhythm again. They started well. Now find themselves behind through that effort from Ben George. Sweetly struck from the fullback. From cushioned down by Woodward, only as far as Ben George. Asking a lot of AJ Adamu. Adamu leaps towards it. Draper hooks it along the touchline. Jack down heads on. Return to sender by Reese. Callum Woodward tricks his way past Wilkes, but off balance. Couldn't find a teammate in red. Deflected back to Charlie Woods between the sticks for Coventry Sphinx. Shorrock closed down by George, playing a much higher line in recent minutes. Shearer. Sphinx been encased in their own backyard. Luke Shearer now with Guest. And look for the chipboard of Jack Downs that just missed his target. Throw into the mics. 20 gone. And Boldmere find themselves in front. Ben George, now Rowe. Shear, lunge in by Shark. Got plenty of demand, none of the ball. Bread and butter free kick. And another goal from the Premier League. Liverpool 1-up at home to struggling Ipswich. George has already got a goal to his name. Can he add an assist to his track record? No, he can't. Simple header clear. The first man, Jack Downs, getting onto it. Burton skips away from the challenge of Kyle Carey. Cross from the left, headed away by Jamie Draper. Solid defending from the Sphinx youth product. Wakefield cushions it for Luke Shearer. Now covered up by Boldmere number 6 and beautifully launched into the area. Rowan Nui nudged over. Referee says nothing doing. Was there enough in it? Not according to the referee, Mr. Hales. Nui nudged down. And now the other end, Rowe, looking for a long-range spectacular. Couldn't beat Jamie Draper. And Burton start from the back again with Pierre Phillips. Brown. Stephen Palmer playing an anchoring midfield role. Headed on by Wilkes. Easy pickings for Charlie Woods between the sticks. He'll be unhappy a bit about being beaten so early. Woods headed back where it came from by Cleat. Sphinx not going to give up on this one. Nui up for it, beaten mid-air by Burton. Flicked over the back line for Adamu, but again, too many legs on it. Ends up back with Woods. Wakefield on the long kick. Nui being held from behind there by Cleat. Referee says no. And it's hooked down the left-hand side for Shearer, looking for his first Coventry Sphinx goal in the area. Covered up by Ben George, trying to trick his way through. Still going Shearer. Now he's got some options. Pulls it back. Finley Shark! Equalising goal for Coventry Sphinx. It's the fullback show in the opening 22 minutes. Coventry Sphinx is left back and Boldmere's right back. Both tidy finishes into the top corner. Well, that's one for the TikTok Finley. Hook towards top bins. And Finn didn't miss. Finn for the win. Sphinx will hope. It's 1-1 at the Boldmere Community Stadium. Finley Shark on the mark for Coventry Sphinx. Here's Shearer, cushioning it back for Lewis Guest. Palmer with the interception, looking for a black and white option on the edge of the area, but cut out by Kyle Burke. There it goes from Woods, and it's parity restored in Sutton Coldfield. Down sees that one in as Boldmere look to build from the back. Boldmere formed all the way back in 1883. Originally as a youth team by the attendees of the local church, and would play only friendlies until they became a league side in 1912. That is a lot of friendlies. Promoted to Step 4 back in 2022 was runners-up of the Midland League Premier Division, a league that Coventry Sphinx know very well. Looking to build that 13th place finish from last year, but as it stands, it's 1-1 as we hit the just shy of the 25-minute mark. Woods. Towering header by Burton. Yes, across with the head to the goal scorer, Finnish Shark. Shark looks for an option in the centre circle. All good bounce from Nui. Woodward plays it on. Collected by Mason Rees for Boldmere St Michael's. Phillips. Here's Theo Rowe. We know he also cracking on from long range. Overlapping run being made by Ben George. George with the back heel looking for Rees. Well intercepted by Sphinx's top scorer Kyle Carey. Shorrock looking for Wakefield. Wakefield being held all the way by Phillips, but he had a hand of shirt too. Referee says 6 of one, half dozen of the other. Palmer at the halfway point. Here's D'Amico Burton at left back for Boldmere. Taking on Nui and losing with the seconds bouncing back to Cleat, the Mike skipper. Palmer. Pierre Phillips. Again looking for George and finding Ben George, but the offside flag raised. And George looking back to the linesman with a bemused look on his face. Taken short by Woods. Here's Finley Shark for the Sky Blue and Whites. Wakefield gives chase on the left-hand side and maybe a task too far. Cleat. It's on his feet. And Rees, with what should have been a simple ball to Ben George, curls it out on this near side. Sphinx looking to build a little knockdown on Kyle Carey from Rees. Again, another soft decision. Two moves that Boldmere didn't have to make, and it may come back to bite them. Woodward telling Finnish Shark, I've got this. That's an easy header away by Palmer. Rowe looks for the overlap of Wilkes. Downs as well to get his body between player and ball. And now up the other end he goes. Jack Downs for a crowded area. And Sphinx have got the free kick there for a block on Downs. Woodward guesses at the far post. Swords gets nodded down. Burke hooks it over the Woodward, but the offside flag raised anyway. Burke making his first appearance against his old club since his move to the Sphinx back in November Newcastle have equalised in their game at Southampton for an Alex Isak penalty in the 26th minute. And it's still scoreless at the CBS between Coventry City and under pressure Watford. I say under pressure, they're 8th in the table at the moment. So why Tom Cleverley is close to getting a sack, I do not know. But, well, that's Watford. Brown away. Palmer. Yes, like a freight train through Theo Rowe, preventing the winger from making inroads. Long shot towards Wakefield, but it bounces calmly to the feet of Cleat. Draper nodded on against. Cleat tries to clear. Looks like the head of Wakefield, brought now under control by Pierre Phillips. Burton. Trying to avoid catcher from New, and he's done so beautifully. Quick feet from D'Amico Burton. Now it's Mason Rees across to Ben George, the goal scorer for Boldmere. Phillips. Brown. Back to Phillips. Boldmere starting to get entrapped in their own backyard, but cleared well by Phillips. Flicked away by Lewis Guest. Has a diving mistake on side as George looks for him. No, he hasn't. The flag eventually raised as Jamie Draper played it back to Woods. It should have been a simple one for Sphinx anyway, but the referee, Mr. Hales, giving Sphinx the free kick. Coming up to the half-hour mark here on the Coventry Sphinx YouTube channel. Thank you very much for joining us as always. Make sure to hit that like button if you are enjoying today's coverage. Gets to Shorrock. Pulls inside away from AJ Adamu. Congested midfield area. Sphinx trying to find a little pocket of space to work with. Draper going long. It's too central for Rowan Nui. Phillips up towards Adamu. Again, Guest is up for it. He's having a strong game so far. Shorrock volleys into relative safety. Phillips volleys on again. Chia. That's with Theo Rowe. Space out wide for George. Thinks twice and pirouettes away. Now he's being forced back towards his own end of the field. Finds Mason Rees with Wakefield all over him. Still going Rees down the right-hand side. Eventually it's Shearer who snatches the ball from right under his nose. And Shorrock ends the danger. Palmer looks to restart it again. Phillips on the halfway line is Stephen Palmer in the centre circle. Sphinx moving out. Cleat drills it along the deck. And Lewis Guest looks to have hurt his knee as he leapt in for the challenge. Boldmere continue. It's George. Skews it behind the goal, but Lewis Guest in agony holding that right knee. Well, that's the thing about these 3G services. They may be all weather, but they bloody well hurt if you go down on them. Right, hopefully it's something that the old magic spray can't fix. Sphinx physio heading over, but as a precaution, Patrick Zito is going for a warm-up. We haven't seen Zito in action for a good while. A partnership of Burke, Draper, and Guest has been infallible recently. It's one that the Sphinx management team have wanted to keep. A reminder of the Sphinx bench: Locke, Fasani, Zito and Kelly. So men for all seasons amongst the bench. Let's have a look through the latest scores around the ground. So they're pitching in Northern Premier League, Midlands, and it's 0-0s all round at the moment, except for here and the Sutton Coldfield game. So really, you've done well if you chose one of those two. Everywhere else is currently scoreless, as Guest remains in need of treatment. So at the moment, it's Boldmere 1, Coventry Sphinx 1, Coleshill 0, Rugby 0, Corby 0, Bedworth 0, Darlington 0, Shepshed 0, Grantham 0, Calcer 1. Sporting Calcer have just scored in that game at Grantham Town, so struggling Grantham's woes get worse. Hinckley have equalised at Sutton Coldfield. It's 0-0 between Loughborough Students and Racing Club Warwick. Wellingborough still 0-0 at home to Lye, and Worcester are drawing 0-0 at home to Long Eaton. So at the moment, it's as you were, except for Grantham, whose gap to the drop zone as it stands, is getting even bigger. I think the gingerbread men may well be crumbling towards the end of the season. And a reminder of the Premier League scores: Bournemouth 1, Nottingham Forest 0, Brighton 0, Everton 0, Liverpool 1, Ipswich 0, Southampton 1, Newcastle 1, and Wolves 0, Arsenal 0. And remember that big half-5 kickoff, Manchester City at home to Chelsea. And if you're looking for some more action next week, then we're back at Sphinx Drive for the first time, what feels like forever, the first time of the new year, as we host AFC Rushden Diamonds again. It ended pretty tasty at Hayden Road, and we're expecting another whopper of a game on Saturday, as Guest gingerly makes his way off the field. Guest shaking his head as he left the field. I hate to say it, I believe we could well be in for a substitution in a moment. Well, hopefully it's nothing that a quick drink will fix, but Patrick Zito has been going for a warm-up and is setting himself up for what could be his first appearance in nearly a month, in the first half at least. We are back underway, and we'll start with a throw-in on the far side for Coventry Sphinx. As currently Sean Thomas and John Wood have to ply their trade with just the 10 men as they wait on a decision of Guest. It looks like, yeah, it's Patrick Zito coming on, I believe, for Coventry Sphinx. And it's a real shame for the Sky Blue and White's vice-captain. When Zito comes on, will it still be 1-1? As Shark is looking for a way through. Woodward. Long ball towards Kyle Carey, turned away by Phillips. Of course, Sphinx are a man down at the back, but Kyle Burke sees that one out, shepherded into touch against AJ Adamu, and the substitution is confirmed. Patrick Zito making his way onto the field in what we expect to be a straight swap at centre-back, replacing Lewis Guest. Of course, wish Guesty the best of luck for his recovery. It was an impact to the right knee in a challenge in the centre circle a couple of minutes ago, which has ended Guest's involvement in the game. As another man's loss, of course, is another man's gain, as Patrick Zito finally gets his chance at centre-back. He's had to bide his time after a questionable run of form, saw him dropped in favour of Jamie Draper. Back underway, Guest with the throw-in. Shearer cushions on for Harry Wakefield. Well, will that one drop, and Wakefield standing strong against Shearer, and Shearer dragged down. Free kick, Coventry Sphinx. Mason Reese the culprit. Nine minutes to go until half-time, and Sphinx try to take a quick one. Woodward, the ball's too central to Pierre Phillips. He looked to thread the needle for Kyle Carey. And now the Mikes try to play out of danger. Here's D'Amico Burton. It's a long one towards the area, but easy pickings for Woods. Charlie Woods to play it off the deck. There it goes, down the right. Nui is the target. Just flicks over the head of Rowan Nui for the Boldmere throw. But of course, they've got to get this right. They lose it here, they're in a whole world of trouble. Burton. Sent high into the sky by Burke, who once called this place home. And towards the DJ decks there. You don't want to send the ball in there. Some expensive equipment in that area. Wilkes will have the throw in. Just into Sphinx territory on the left. Zito, towering header. And it's kept in. On the line by Burke, but can only roll into touch down the right. Wilkes on duty again, cushion header out to the edge of the area. Cheer was back to goal. looking for a black and white shirt and finds one in Reese. Pierre Phillips spots Burton in a little pocket of space. Threads the needle for Jake Wilkes. Covered up by Burke. And that presence of Burke has done enough to allow Jamie Draper to latch onto the seconds and clear. Level with the penalty area, throwing quickly taken. Palmer returns to Theo Rowe. Loses it softly to Kyle Burke. Clear it only as far as Palmer. Chia. First time high ball in by D'Amico Burton and sees it coming all the way to Charlie Woods. And Woods just telling his teammates, calm down, get into position. We don't want to waste this kick. Nui the target. Beaten mid-air by D'Amico Burton, but Callum Woodward fires it down the right. Wakefield will give chase. Cleat tries to shepherd it into touch on Wakefield, grabbing onto the shirt and dragging Cleat down with him. Free kick, clear as day from Mr. Hales. Reminder, Sphinx have already made their first change of the afternoon, with Lewis Guest going on with an injury to the right knee, replaced by former Aston Villa youngster Patrick Zito, alongside Draper and Burke in the back three. So beyond the back line, Draper's got to get down, hooks it out. Quick thinking from the product of the Sphinx Academy. One of the more popular players. In fact, I don't think we've ever had such a highly viewed post-match interview in the 2 years that we've been here at Coventry Sphinx and Draper's. And we've had nearly 400 views on Draper's post-match interview after the Rushton game. Struck it by Mason Reese, couldn't find his way for a sea of Sphinx shirts. Hooked along the touchline by Callum Woodward. Appeals of handball, clearly hit the shoulder of Chia. Plays it back to Brown, who swiftly distributes it down the centre of the park. Draper looks for Jack Downs. That's surely handball there against Stephen Palmer. Referee says no. The answer stuck out there and definitely made contact. Burke tries to clear, deflected out down the right. And it's as you were for the Sky Blue and Whites. If you're just joining us here on the Coventry Sphinx YouTube channel, it's Boldmere 1, Coventry Sphinx 1. The opening goal coming from Boldmere's number 2, Ben George, before an equalising goal from his opposite fullback in Finley Shorrock for Coventry Sphinx. It's been a pretty even contest all around. I'd say Sphinx are just edging the attacking opportunities. Draper. Thrown net by Burton, not into the centre circle for George. Draper cushions it down for Jack Downs to flex off Stephen Palmer, but Palmer leaning into the back of Rowan Nui. Free kick in front of the away dugout. Kyle Burke, hopeful ball into the area, but it's an easy header clear by Phillips. The second's collected by Shorrock, who's having a promising afternoon on the 3G. Shearer taking on Pierre Phillips one-on-one, and Phillips feeling that it took a nick off the way through, off Luke Shearer's leg. Referee doesn't agree, and Sphinx had the throw-in. Shark taking his time, wants some movement, and looks for Harry Wakefield. Little push in the back from Phillips. Referee allows Sphinx to continue. Shorrock, and took over the line by Phillips, and again Phillips unhappy, but there's no doubt about that one. He dragged it over the line. Last couple of minutes of normal time. The throw-in taken to Carey. Little hand on the shoulder by George, and a big push in the back by Mason Reese. And again, Boldmere can have no complaints. Coventry Sphinx with a free kick right in the corner. Well, Callum Woodward scored direct from a free kick on Tuesday. Probably too tight of an angle to do it again. So it will be a delivery with plenty of red in there to counteract the white of Boldmere. Towards that near post, and it's nodded clear by George, and Woodward, you can see they're frustrated with his delivery, but he'll get another crack at it with the throw. Shorrock offering to take the throw in himself. Wood falls in. And the throw is to Kyle Carey. Not been able to utilise Carey's expertise so far. Ducking and diving away from Reese, curled in by Kyle Carey and brought down safely by Brown. Rowe. Shrugged out of possession by Jack Downs. Good strength from the Sphinx veteran. Back to Woods. Another across the midfield by Palmer. Now George. Wood was beautifully to flick that ball away mid-air from Cheer. He was brought down in the process. Now Woodward's gone down with an injury. The referee hasn't stopped play yet. Now he has. Callum Woodward going down shoulder to shoulder with Hisham Cheer, the Boldmere number 10, and another trip to the pitch for the physio. We've already seen Lewis Guest withdrawn and Patrick Zito taking his place. You'd expect if Woodward can't continue, it would be one of Alex Locke or Idris Hosseini to come on, but this one looks a little less serious than Guest's. And there's been a goal at the CBS Arena. Coventry City 1, Watford 0. Victor Torp in the 32nd minute has put Coventry City in front. So the minimal pressure that everyone except for Watford fans would see on Tom Cleverley has just got that little bit bigger. But I think the Watford manager, so the Watford owner, will be blowing a gasket wherever he is, as he was close to sacking Cleverley before the Coventry game. And there may well be a few broken chairs and windows in his office right now. As it stands, Coventry City 1, Watford 0. And Liverpool have gone 2-0 up in their game at home to Ipswich through Mo Salah. Dominic Soboslai putting the Reds in front on 11 minutes. And Newcastle complete the turnaround through another Alex Isak goal. I'm pleased to report that Callum Woodward is back on his feet and looks able to continue. It will be a drop ball for Coventry Sphinx. It drops to the feet of Zito. Follows it on towards Wakefield. Headed back right. And if you experience the issue again first, we have now been able to sort out those issues. Did one our time. We had another substitution from Coventry Sphinx has had an issue hamstring. Still care for front three. The Sphinx now kicking from left to right as the Sphinx faithful are trying to move around to get behind goal, but that end of the park at the moment is blocked off with building work, so they've got a bit more of a journey on their hands. And another injury stoppage hours. Rowan Newey has been kicked on the knee, and the referee hasn't stopped play just yet. He's going to continue. Here's Cole Carey down the left-hand side through that blazing setting sun. Still going Cole Carey, smothered at the near post by Brown. And the referee has given the go-ahead to start. It's not a head injury, but you would have thought with the ball not in play, the referee would have stopped the game. And Newey is going to try and shrug it off, but he does not look right at all. Now the referee, now the ball's out of play, he is going to halt proceedings and allow Newey to get some treatment. And Sphinx have been so unlucky. And a yellow card to captain George Cleat. Well, Sphinx have already lost Lewis Guest to a knee injury and Luke Shearer to a hamstring strain. They can ill afford to lose another player. And the only other attacking prowess on the park is that of Alex Locke on the bench. And if that happens, you have to assume that Wakefield would move out wide and Locke would fit in down the centre. It would split up the play of Kyle Carey and Harry Wakefield, though, so that is a concern for this. Both forced off. And a younger member of the Sphinx Army doesn't like the sound of that news. Well, let's have a look through the latest scores around the grounds. There have been very few goals as Rowan Nui is heading off the field. Looks okay to continue. Boldmere 1, Coventry Sphinx 1, of course, here at the Boldmere Community Stadium. Coleshill 0, Rugby 0, Corby 0, Bedworth 0, Darlington 0, Shepshed 0, Grantham 0, Cowsall 1, Hinckley 2, Sutton Coldfield 1. That could be a big result for Hinckley LRFC. Loughborough 0, Resingle Warwick 0, Wellingborough 0, Lye 0, and Worcester 0, Long Eaton 0. And a reminder that Coventry City are 1 up at Watford in the Sky Bet Championship. Cheer put under pressure by Callum Woodward deep into his own half of the field. And the ball's cut out by Harry Wakefield. Quick finger from the former Nuneaton striker, but just poked on by Callum Woodward as he looked to find his way into the area, makes his apologies. And Rowan Nui getting a bit of the old magic spray before he can head back onto the field. Damo Kelly and Alex Locke have both been warming up if needed. They are the two final remaining substitutes on the bench, both attacking options. So at least if the second half doesn't go their way, they have the options on the bench. But they're having to play Jack Downs at right wing back at the moment, and I'm glad to report that Rowan Nui is back on the field. Vaseni heads on as far as Palmer. Draper up for it. Here's Kyle Carey. See a bit of a nudge there from Reese as he distributes down the right-hand side. And Wakefield is going to give chase. Cleat under pressure. Burton, his only real assistance here, is able to turn away from Wakefield and find D'Amico Burton. Pierre Phillips tries to curl it away. Counters off the backside of Kyle Carey. Burton gets some height on that one. Draper's up for it. Draper heads it towards Fasani. It's brought down well by Cheer. Avoids the challenge of Fasani. Cheer. Vasani's there with him. Refuses to make the challenge. Runs into Patrick Zito, and it's well collected by Zito and cleared towards Jack Downs. Downs racing down the right-hand side, now covered up by Stephen Palmer. Takes him into the path of D'Amico Burton, and Burton able to skip away from the challenge. Headed back towards his own backyard by Callum Woodward, I should say. Patrick Zito onto Fasani. Fasani gives it away in the midfield to Wilkes. Burke sends it high into the sky in his own backyard. Brought down beautifully by Rowe. Barged, well, before he was barged up the ball by Jack Downs, but he's done well to keep the ball at his feet there as Rowe. Now looking for a route in from the left-hand side. Still Theo Rowe. Needs some support. It's down line with D'Amico Burton. Burton back to Rowe. Rowe again looking for the cross from the left-hand side. Rowe gets it away. Options in the penalty area, but Wilkes couldn't bring it to feet or have it go. And it's swiftly cleared by Jamie Draper. Phillips at centre-back for Boldmere. Burton, Boldmere pressing on again. Fast and furious down the left-hand side. Rowe ducks away from the challenge of Rowan Nui. Blocked up by Downs. Hooked in by Burton. Zito with a header away. Palmer flicks it up and Fasani volleys towards the centre circle. Nui looking to take advantage of some lackadaisical play from Reese. And Reese taking one for the team now, just dragging on the shirt of Rowan Nui to prevent him from making inroads. And that will be a free kick in the centre circle to Coventry Sphinx, and a change coming up for Boldmere St Michael's. Charlie Manners is about to make his way onto the field. A highly rated talent here at the Boldmere Community Stadium, and not a man who's played a lot of first-team football recently. The change will now take place, and it's the end of the afternoon for AJ Aduma. So Aduma off, and Charlie Manners will make his way into the attack. Woodward float it towards the danger zone. Phillips heads it away as far as Wilkes. Wilkes on the turn, tries to race away. He's got Nui all over him, but still going as Wilkes. Shoulder to shoulder, Wilkes and Nui has done beautifully to edge him over the line. Great stuff from the 18-year-old. Burke sends that one into a different postcode. Phillips doesn't get the same distance on his clearance. Reese is up for it, only as far as the head of Sphinx's captain, Callum Woodward. Vasani. And Shear. Dispossessed. So he looks to find an option on the right-hand side. Jack Downs momentarily brought it back, and now it's with Burton. Cutting in, Theo Rowe, easy pickings for Charlie Wood. It's not going to cause him any sleepless nights with that one. And Arsenal, we're being told, have been reduced to 10 men in controversial fashion in their game against Wolves. It remains 0-0 there, but Arsenal walking a bit of a tightrope in this title race. We could have a big swing in the 3 o'clock kickoffs. Callum Woodward steaming in with a challenge on Theo Rowe. Now looks for an option. Floats it towards Wakefield, nodded clear by Cleat. Woodward in again. Shorrock. Phillips can't get any distance behind that one. Felt it was caught from behind by Wakefield. Referee doesn't agree. Down to Nui, sandwich between Burton and Palmer. Palmer finds a free man in Theo Rowe, closed down by Jamie Draper. Rowe wants some support, eventually tries to play it into the midfield, and Callum Wood with the interception. Now tries to float it over for Wakefield. Wakefield's onside. Cushions it towards the touchline and needs some support. Looks into the centre, no one home, but Kerry will race towards the seconds. It's shepherded out by Ben George, who got the scoring started in the first half, and it will be a goal kick to Boldmere. The Coventry Sphinx have made 2 changes already, with Idris Hosseini and Patrick Zito brought on to replace the injured Luke Shearer and Lewis Guess. We will, of course, ask the Sphinx management pair of Sean Thomas and Jordan Woodward about their conditions after the game. Shorrock looks for Hosseini. Hosseini nods it out, and the pressure from behind by Ben George. It's a throw-in just by the tunnel for George, who set up towards Manners. Returned to centre by the head of Shorrock, who of course scored Sphinx's goal. Boldmere looking to keep the move going, but it's a headed clearance out for a throw-in by Patrick Zito. Thrown to the feet of Wilkes. George. Just control by Charlie Manners, but Sphinx able to clear well. Wakefield, pressure from behind by Phillips. And look, they're having a little bit of a dozy-do there with Harry Wakefield and Mason Reese arm in arm. Eventually given in favour of Boldmere. Cleat, the captain. Crossfield ball off the head of Jamie Draper to Jack Downs. No one home in the centre circle, and an easy interception for Pierre Phillips, the centre-back for Boldmere. Chip pass down the left. D'Amico Burton looking for Charlie Manners. Zito trying to shepherd it into touch, and via a shove from behind from Charlie Manners. Despite Boldmere asking for a corner, it will be a goal kick. Zito doing just enough. Remains 1-0 between Coventry City and Watford. They're in the 57th minute there at the CBS Arena. A goal from Victor Torp in minute 32. Harry Wakefield has got a piece of tissue up his nose. It seems as he's taking a bit of a whack in one of these exchanges. And Sphinx have the throwing on the halfway line. There goes the throw from Downs. Wakefield the target. Carey couldn't find the Sphinx shirt. Reese away. Burke volleys towards the penalty area, and Wakefield trying to latch onto it. Cleat does enough to hold him off and head it back to Brown. Thumped at field by George. Skims ahead of Berg, and Zito plays safe and back to Woods. Stabbed on by Reese. But some playing out with a camera, unfortunately, so I'm not sure what the highlight's going to look for. And Burton should have had that one under control there, but let it roll underneath his feet. Wasting precious seconds for Boldmere. And an aimless clearance from D'Amico Burton straight up to Charlie Woods. Easy gather. Kick from Woods. Awkward clearance by Cleat. Burton can't get any distance on it. It bounces back into his own penalty area. Cleat sees it back to Brown. Swings it towards the halfway line. Manners backing into Zito. And they had a probable cause for a free kick there, did Boldmere St Michael's. Zito a bit too handsy on Charlie Manners. The Sphinx move comes to nothing in the end. And now Manners trying to give Zito one back. Zito using his strength to shield the ball and hook it out. That's a little bit of laughters there from Charlie Manners, just nudging Zito to the deck. Launched in by Wilkes. Woods sees it coming, punched by Charlie Woods. It wasn't the cleanest of punches, but it deflected off Palmer. Back to Woods, and Palmer getting Draper in a bit of a headlock there on the way out, and Draper has to shove the Boldmere number 8 off him. Well, you don't want to play mind games with Jamie Draper, that's all I'll say. Wakefield. Here's Kyle Carey, and there's a bit of free space on this near side for Jack Downs to utilise. Burton tries to cover him up, but racing down the right is Downs. Now looks to cut in. Downs delivery. Crucial header away by Reese. Fasane knocked it back in. Wakefield towards the bottom corner, and latching onto it with the right palm was Brown, leaping like a cat towards the right-hand side. But Carey back in. Lunging by George. Got enough of the ball. Corner to Coventry Sphinx. Well, we've been talking about the incredible saves of Charlie Woods recently. Well, that's a chalk on Brown's total for Boldmere. Towards Wakefield, bounces past Fasani at the far post. Rowe should deal with it. And Fasani pokes it away from Theo Rowe. Who got the final touch? It was Rowe. Fasani timing that beautifully. Sticking his foot in for the challenge, but just as Rowe was striding along, he's got a final toe on it. You can't time that any better. Half an hour to play at the Boldmere Community Stadium, and it's just getting interesting. Wakefield, they go for a bit of a Peter Crouch effort there with a volley from a tight angle. That doesn't make an impression on Brown's net. George. Towards Charlie Manners, and couldn't bring that one to feet. Easy pickings for Woods between the sticks. At the other end, Brad's been doing so much, he thought he was in 2 goals at once. Here is Woods, who really could have taken the last 5 Man of the Match awards on his own. He certainly got it on Tuesday. Shorrock. Here's Wakefield. Woodward looking for shot on the left-hand side, not the way by George. Carey takes it on. Now Harry Wakefield, does he fancy it from long range? Wakefield with power, just grazes the net on the way through. Now Manners, Wilkes, the setting sun behind the changing rooms of the other end at Boldmere Community Stadium. Is the sun setting on the scoreline of 1-1? No, it isn't, as Finney Shorrock able to loft it away. Woodward. Into the path of Rowan Newey there into George Cleek, the centre back, and ends up back at left back for Coventry Sphinx with Finley Shorrock. Burke, crossfield ball, controlled well by Jack Downs, but latching onto it, D'Amico Burton, quick thinking. Pulls it back from Downs. Rowe avoids the slide of Callum Woodward. Burton's with him, before it's Chia. He's back to goal, finds Burton. Rowe again. Sphinx lining up to keep the mics out. Rowe's delivery. Burke nods it away from his old teammate. Through ball for Finley Shorrock. His path covered off by Wilkes. Can Coventry just calm things down now and get their rhythm back? Boldmere have started to take precedence in this fixture. Vasani. Toe poked onto Wakefield. Back to Vasani. This is the sort of pitch that Vasani loves. Rolls it right to Downs. And Vasani wants it back. Downs goes for Harry Wakefield on the volley again. Couldn't keep it down, but Wakefield is just starting to get the taste for goal. And a change for Coventry Sphinx, and Rowan Newey makes way for Alex Locke. So a change of tack up front for the Sky Blue and White. So they're going to go to a top 2 with Wakefield and Locke. It appears that he's going to be playing a more advanced position than Carey is. So Coventry Sphinx are going for a little something different here. Let's see if it works, if they can make it 4 in 5 on this fantastic run. Just seen them stretch away from the relegation zone. Quick from Draper at the back as it bounced kindly for Charlie Manners, who was looking to race towards the Sphinx Penalty but they've managed to keep him at bay for now. Sphinx trying to snuff out that flame on the right-hand side from the throw-in, and they've done so. Clear towards Wakefield, a bit too much pushing and pulling between Wakefield and Phillips has got the decision. They're going to lead the free kick to Jonathan Brown, the goalkeeper. Manners the target, and Burke takes no risk, heads it out on that far side, just about level with the penalty area. And Wilkes with ball in hand. Wilkes' throw. Deep into the area. Shorrock heads it out as far as Chia. Wilkes will get a second crack at it. In by Wilkes, and it was heading straight for Manners, where Burke hooks it into the sky. Zito couldn't bring it down. George nods to the cross now with Theo Rowe. George again, who got the scoring started in the first half. Theo Rowe cross cannons off the boot of Jack Downs. Burton looking to thread it back to Rowe, but Jack Downs there to pick up the pieces again. Threads the needle down the left-hand side to finish show. Beautifully placed ball. Switches the play to Kyle Carey. Wayfield up there with him. Cuts in on Burton. Lot for Wayfield, but got himself between player and ball. Draper up for it. Alex Locke gets stuck in on Chia. Slid towards the penalty area by Callum Woodward. Fasani. Ambitious effort. Rolls along the deck. Back to Brown. George floats it up for Manners and backed into a stern chest of Kyle Burke. Halfway through this second half of the Boldmere Community Stadium, it is still 1-1 between Boldmere St Michael's and Coventry Sphinx. Plenty of draws around the grounds though, so at the moment it's not doing anything for either side. Well, there have been a couple of goals, and it's good news for Coventry Sphinx because Kozel have taken the lead at home to Rugby. Lighthouse still 0-0 at Wellingborough. And of course, Hinckley 2-1 up against Sutton Coldfield in that relegation dogfight at the bottom. The free kick floats straight into the hands of Charlie Woods. So as it stands, Coventry Sphinx would extend their gap to Rugby, but it would remain at 10 points to lie. Good one for Phillips, juggling on the edge of the area, but finds a teammate in Palmer. Chips it to Rowe. And rather soft free kick there, a little hand in the back from Jamie Draper. I think Rowe made the most of that one. But free kick it is, according to Mr. Hales, and we'll have a substitution coming up for Boldmere St Michael's momentarily. They're going to use this opportunity to take it. It looks like they are. And some new instructions being given to Ben George, the Boldmere right back. And Stephen Palmer, who went down injured in the first half, is going to be withdrawn. He's replaced by Lewis Allison. So Lewis Allison on for Stephen Palmer for the remainder of this match. 21 minutes until full time. Boldmere St Michael's 1, Coventry Sphinx 1. Highlights of this afternoon's fixture will be available on the Coventry Sphinx YouTube channel tonight. Make sure to follow us, youtube.com/@Coventry Sphinx for all of your Coventry Sphinx footage throughout the season. Interviews, commentaries, highlights, the whole shebang. You get it all here on the Sphinx channel. Rowe latches onto that cushion header by Manners in the area. Now tries to get it away, but hooked back in by Burton. Manners couldn't stretch enough to get something on that ball as it bounced in front of him. Charlie Woods with the gather. All the way down to the fringes of the Boldmere penalty area there. Crucial header by Phillips to keep it away from Carey, who was in a promising position. George thumps his laces through that one. I'm not sure what Manners was trying to do there. He was off balance. Trying to head it back to a teammate in Allison maybe, but Fasani makes the most of it. And now Downs down the right. Fasani, can he put it back? Thrust it across the face of goal. Carries there on the volley. Callers off the calf of Ben George. And out for the throw, taken quickly by Shorrock. Carey, back to Shorrock again. Stepping in for the challengers, Allison. That will be a Coventry Sphinx throwing in the same position. Will Shorrock take a little longer with this one? Wakefield. Flicked it on, no one high over the sky blue and white. Cleat does the necessaries. Manners trying to get there ahead of Kyle Burke, and Burke has seen it into touch for the Boldmere throw in the halfway line, but taking the ball with him, allowing his teammates to track back and regroup. 19 left in the Pitching In Northern Premier League Midlands. A reminder, we're back on air on Saturday with another game against AFC Rushden Diamonds, this time at Sphinx Drive. Get there if you can, £10 for adults. Best value for money football in the city. George's throw and a free kick there. Finger shy being held from behind by Charlie Manners, and Coventry Sphinx with the decision. Still 1-0 between Coventry City and Watford. The Sky Blues in front for that Victor Torp goal on 32 minutes. So it's looking like a successful day for the Sky Blues. What about the Sky Blue and Whites? Can they get that decisive goal? Phillips nods up that free kick on the edge of his own area. Hooked on by Wilkes. Theo Rowe trying to shield it from Draper, and Draper gets stuck in, allowing for Saint to snatch it away. Here's Finley Shorrock, drills it towards Wakefield. Harry Wakefield into the area he goes. Harry Wakefield avoids the challenge of Phillips, takes him wide though. Preventing Cleat from bringing it back. Shorrock, lock again, tight angle. Wakefield in the corner. Wakefield smacks it against George. Corner Coventry Sphinx. It's the most that Wakefield could have got out of it. Well, Lewis Guest isn't there to provide the aerial threat, so they'll rely on Zito and Burke. Now Burke would love to get one over on his old club. He's told to retreat towards the edge of the area. Now Burke back in. It's Woodward. It's over Burke, headed across by Draper and swung away. Rowe can't get going, ball getting caught between his feet, and Kyle Carey in with a challenge and barged over by Theo Rowe. And Carey with a wry smile on his face, he knows that was job done. And Rowe told by Mr. Hales to get away from the ball, give Jack Downs his required 10 yards. Does not look like he is 10 yards away at the moment, but now he's starting to trudge away. Downs given the go-ahead. There it goes from the Sphinx veteran. Vasani up for it, but towering header by Cleat. Woodward bounces towards Locke. Try to find Jack Downs on this near side, but it's D'Amico Burton who gets there first and thumps it towards Charlie Manners. Patrick Zito, is he trying to shield it into touch? It's just about got the legs on it. He probably would have got the free kick anyway. There was a bit of an aggressive shove by Manners on the former Aston Villa trainee. 16 to go. And, well, Nottingham Forest winning run is certainly coming to an end. They're 3-0 down at Bournemouth. Some strange scorelines happening this week. Liverpool now 4-0 up in their game against Ipswich. Still 0-0 between Wolves and Arsenal. And, of course, Arsenal are a man down. Southampton did lead Newcastle 1-0 at one point, but an Isak masterclass has put Newcastle 3-1 in front, and David Moyes' Everton leading at Brighton, who are usually unbreakable at home. And George caught out by that head across his own back line, but the referee saying that the final touch came off Kyle Carey, who had closed down the right back. So we're throwing deep into their own half. Well, Sphinx have one change left. 2 of the 3 alterations have been injury enforced. Lewis Guest and Luke Shearer both hauled off due to injury problems. Rowan Newey was also substituted, but he seems to be having an issue with his knee too, so you could argue say that 3 players have been withdrawn due to injury issues. Damo Kelly is there if needed. They brought on Alex Locke, Patrick Zito and Idris Fasani. Already missing Jordan Hayward and Joe Percy from Tuesday night's game, and of course Ronnie Nicholson, Alfonso Castellano and Matty Shipman, long-term absencees from the Sphinx squad. But promising updates from Ronnie Nicholson back in training this week, although it will still be a while before he's able to return to the matchday squad. So a shark from the back line. It's over the head of Wakefield. Allison. Chia to Burton. Headed clear by Burke. And a dangerous ball played there by Cleats. It slipped off his boot like it was doused in clover. Collected by Harry Wakefield as it goes out for the throw, and the Sphinx will have the ball a good 15 yards into Sphinx territory, into Boldmere territory, I should say. Carey. George steps in for the challenge. Sharks throws, the sun sets over Sutton Coldfield. Carey tried to slip it down the wing for Shark, but Shark couldn't get there in time. And there's been another goal at the CBS Arena. Victor Torp at the double. Coventry City 2, Watford 0. I think Watford are about to say bye-bye to Tom Cleverley. What was it now? Their 18th manager in 14 years. So Coventry City 2, Watford 0. More success for Frank Lampard, who seems to be setting in nicely in the Free Spire City, replacing the legendary Mark Robbins, who can only manage a 0-0 draw at home to Oxford with his no Stoke side. For Saini, deflected ball, brought to feet by the left back, D'Amico Burton for the Mikes. Drove down the centre of the park and thunk cleared by Callum Woodward, bouncing over the roof. Jonathan Brown making his 30th appearance of the season for Boldmere. That's the highest of any Mike's player. Neither keeper have been kept particularly busy, but what they've had to do, they've done competently. Only 1 goal apiece so far. And most of Boldmere's goals recently have come through own goals. Can they go for a second from their own player? Rowe barged off the ball in the area by Jack Downs. No real appeals for a penalty, but they'll get a second crack of it. D'Amico Burton volleyed intercepted by Idris Hussaini. A much calmer and competent performance than that of Tuesday night, where he gave away several fouls, was brought off before the end of the game, despite being a substitute himself. Manners offside as Finley Shark hooked it away. And Sphinx have a free kick in their own penalty area. Well, Sphinx yet to beat Boldmere at this level. 2 draws and 1 defeat for the Sky Blue and White. The most recent, a 1-1 draw at the start of the season against Boldmere St Michael's at Sphinx Drive. Last year, Boldmere won 3-1 here at the Boldmere Community Stadium, and again it ended 1-1 at Sphinx Drive in April. So the 2 home fixtures Sphinx have ended 1-1. Boldmere have won the only Step 4 fixture at this ground, as it quite clearly went out. Theo Rowe just nudged over the line by Draper. Well, Boldmere organised a bit of a flyover at this late stage of the game, just about 10 minutes to go. It's still anyone's game. Lock, shoulder to shoulder there with Allison, and concedes the free kick, just sticking the leg out on the substitute. Just starting to drop at the Boldmere Community Stadium. Taken quick by Cleat. Switching the play over by D'Amico Burton. It comes to nothing down that right side. Easy interception for the former Boldmere man in Kyle Burke. Twisting and turning as Alex Locke looking for an option upfield. Turned away by Reese. Manners thumps it clear at Sphinx, feeling that Zito was caught there by Charlie Manners as he got the ball away. Referee doesn't agree. Mr. Hales points for the throw-in on the far side of the field, knocking on Sphinx's back door. Wilkes is going for what we call in Coventry the Gunnarsson special. After former Coventry City man Aaron Gunnarsson. It was like an Icelandic Rory Delap. Reese. And the strike by Burton cannons off Alex Locke at the expense of a corner kick. Boldmere pressing for more than a share of the spoils. Whipped in from the left. Woods calls for it and gets the foul, prevented from getting to the ball by Charlie Manners. There have been a couple more goals in the pitching in Northern Premier League. It's been a very low scoring afternoon at Step 4, it has. But Worcester City are now 1 up at home to Long Eaton. And Loughborough have taken the lead at home to Racing Club Warwick. A reminder that Kozel are still beating relegation threatened Rugby Town, but Lye are still 0-0 at high-flying Wellingborough. So Sphinx will stretch their advantage over Rugby and Grantham, but it will remain at 10 points to Lye. It does open up the bottom three a little bit. Of course, their bottom three, it was supposed to be bottom four, but due to the withdrawal of Walsall Wood earlier in the season, it is now just the 3 teams that go down. George's throw from his own backyard, headed on by Idris Hosseini. Wakefield, cushioned header for Alex Locke, skips it over the back line. Wakefield closing in. It just bounced away from the former Nuneaton man. Brought to a safe halt by Jonathan Brown. And now asking a lot down the left-hand side of Chia. Forces Drake with a slice out on this near side, and Boldmere had the ball in a dangerous position. Wilkes delivery with the throw. Zito towering above the rest, nodded out for a corner. And there's been another goal at the CBS Arena. Not so smooth sailing now for the Sky Blues. A Liam Kitching own goal has put Watford back in it. Coventry City 2, Watford 1. Another delivery from the corner. George was up for it. Zito leaping like a salmon on that one. Burke with the volley straight into the dugout. Well, straight off the dugout, I should say, that he wants used to sit in as a substitute. Six and a half minutes until full time, plus stoppages, and Sphinx still have one man they can call on, that being Damo Kelly, who since the arrival of Harry Wakefield has not enjoyed the amount of first-team football he would have liked, called in from the Future Pro Academy, with Shea Willock having returned to Alvechurch, leaving Sphinx short on strikers. But now a plethora of attacking options leaves Damo scrounging for minutes. Hoofed in by Wilkes. Again, Patrick Zito is there. Swing and a miss by Reese. An offside flag raised against Manners. It's fired over by George. Rolls across the clubhouse roof and eventually lands right next to the corner flag. And there's been a goal at Molineux. Arsenal have now taken the lead and Wolves are down to 10 men too. Gomez was sent off in the 70th minute, but now Calafiori has just put Arsenal in front by 1-0. So that title race isn't opening up as much as we thought. Of course, Liverpool 4-0 up in their game at home to Ipswich. Cody Gakpo with a brace either side of half-time, extending the score. Oh, Damo Kelly just fiddling with his shin pads there. Could we be about to see the teenage forwards introduction? The Sphinx could well be going for all 3 points. Charlie Woods looks for Wakefield. Phillips header collected by Chia. Manners catches with his head, but intercepted by Burke, who switches the play. No one home for Coventry Sphinx. Kerry trying to put Phillips under pressure. Zito clears with the head after that long ball from Phillips. Woodward hooks it right. Lark tries to flick it over Phillips, which he did. He also flicks it over Carey and straight out for a throw. Oh, both sides in a position where they'd love to go for the 3 points, but they don't want to give up the one they've already got in their back pocket. Better to draw than lose, of course. Phillips. Wilson can get his bonds on that with the Sane. He could only find the head of Phillips. Straight back to Callum Woodward with the clearance. Here's Kyle Carey, Sphinx his top scorer. Little swipe it in by Reese. And that's another Foul given away by the Boldmere number 6. He's been a bit whistle happy today, has Reese. Kyle Carey. Sphinx putting the usual suspects in and around the penalty area. He's got Callum Woodward in support too. It's Carey, floated in. Zito's there, and a crucial header towards the left side of the box by Cleat. Vasily tried to keep it alive at Wilkes. Ends the danger, and maybe starts it again for Coventry Sphinx. Sharks header into his own back line. Rowe tried to get on the end of it, but Jack Downs with a little seal dribble on the far side of the field, getting it out eventually for a throw-in. From one end to the other, now it's Boldmere on the front foot. Well, Boldmere slap bang in mid-table playoffs, just about still in reach relegation. Yeah, they've still got to kind of worry about that, but really, they should be pretty safe at the end of the season. Coventry Sphinx still looking over their shoulders, 10 points clear. The throw was towards Allison and collected at the far post by Jack Downs. It just flicked off Allison's head. Downs looks for Wayfield from the long ball. Cleat heads to the chest of Kyle Carey, and the referee surely should have given a free kick there to Coventry Sphinx as Carey was taken over his feet by Wilkes. The referee says no. Dink through down the right by Chia, and Manners he's realised he wasn't going to get there and leaves it for the ball boys. And the referee is calling over Callum Woodward, and rightly so. Woodward saying, why wasn't that a free kick for Coventry Sphinx on Kyle Carey in that last move? And the referee is keeping calm here. He's not going to book Callum Woodward like he did for Cleat earlier in the game when Boldmere weren't getting the decisions. Charlie Woods placing the ball as we enter, we're about to enter the last minutes of normal time. There haven't been as many stoppages in the second half as there were the first, so I would say a minimum of 2 added minutes. That will, of course, be announced to us as soon as we tick into the 90. Here's Alex Locke. Carey cutting in from the left-hand side. Reese stands firm. Vasani drills it to the opposite side of the park. Here's Jack Downs. Wayfield's in there. Cross cannons off D'Amico Burton. An awkward buzz. It span on the bounce. And despite Burton's best effort, it is out for the corner. And we'll need another ball because it's a rather unique pitch here at the Boldmere Community Ground, once known as the Trevor Brown Memorial Ground. There's 3 sides of the pitch are elevated. The ball's actually bounced onto one of the elevated sides of the park. It's only the far side where the changing room's located. It's actually at ground level. So another ball needed, and Finley Shorrock looking to whip that ball into the danger zone and give Sphinx the win. Zito up for it, nodded across by Allison. Reese can't get there in time, and Sphinx have the throw level with the box. We are now into added minutes. They have not been announced yet, but Coventry Sphinx will know that time is on their side. Another 4 minutes of added time. Towards Zito. Hooked upfield by Rowe. And Downs crucially ensures it won't reach Charlie Manners, who stayed up for the attack. Carey the target, but cut out by George. George's ball down the right, turned away by Callum Woodward. Shorrock now onto Kyle Carey. Sphinx moving forward with speed, and Carey covered off by Cleat into another corner. You have to figure at the moment, if anyone is going to win this game, it's going to be Coventry Sphinx. Commentators curse about to strike again, perhaps. Believe me, I've been doing this for nearly 10 years. It is a thing. It's like man flu. It's often spoken about, very rarely proved, but it does exist. Woodward. Vasani the 4 post in! It is Vasani's wallet, surely! His second goal for Coventry Sphinx. They're both coming at in time. And just like the strike against Kousa, this one may have just sealed victory. Their rich vein of form has no sign of ending. 4 from 5. Idris Hussaini off the bench on the score sheet. He thanks a higher power for his assistance. And Sphinx give their thanks to Idris Hussaini, whose header across Jonathan Brown has surely gift-wrapped another 3 points for the Sky Blue and Whites. Boldmere St Michael's 1, Coventry Sphinx 2. But of course it's not over yet. We've got another 2 minutes of added time. Sphinx have got to see this out now. Woods taking it all the way to the edge of his penalty area on the left side. Every second is a second too long now for Sean Thomas and John Woodward on that Coventry Sphinx bench, and they're going to waste a few more seconds while bringing on Damo Kelly in a minute. The goalkeeper on Woods headed away by Cleat. Locke takes it on, lunging by Ben George. Locke continues down the flank, and again, despite the attempted clearance there of Phillips, eventually it's towards Jack Downs in the midfield. Here's Hussaini. Shorrock bounces to Wakefield. And Wakefield dragged down the left side of the box by a combination of Phillips and Reese. Referee waves away protests. Shorrock thumps it along the left touchline. Wakefield's offside and doesn't get involved in play. 1 minute to go. And Damo Kelly's waited to come on. The next time the ball goes out of play, Sphinx will bring him on. But Boldmere pushing on to try and get the equalising goal. Sphinx have come from behind and lead at the Boldmere Community Stadium. Headed back to the goalkeeper, Jonathan Brown, by Pierre Phillips. And now striding out from the back is the captain, Cleat. George Cleat. That's with Theo Rowe. Everyone back for the Sphinx. They've worked hard for this lead. They don't want to lose it at the last minute. And Shark steaming in with a challenge. Has got it back for the Sphinx. Rolls it down the centre of the park. In the midfield is Kyle Carey. Taking it down the left wing. Look for the through ball to Harry Wakefield. The run wasn't made, and Brown swipes it up again. Draper heads away from right back. Headed on by Jack Downs. Burton. The added time has elapsed. The 4 minutes have gone, but of course Sphinx scored in that added 4 minutes. Handball against Wilkes, and Coventry Sphinx are surely there. And now Coventry Sphinx will take off the last few precious seconds. Harry Wakefield withdrawn. Damo Kelly on. We're coming to the end of the 5th minute of added time. Damo Kelly on for Harry Wakefield. Hussaini's injury time header seems to have done the deal. Referee urged to get on with it. Sphinx want to hear that whistle blow again. Downs free kick towards Damo Kelly. Nodded out for the throw to Coventry Sphinx. Just about level with the penalty area. More seconds ticking away for Boldmere St Michael's. Jack Downs. Short throw to Kelly. Nodded down for Jack Downs. Kelly to Hussaini. Surely the match winner at this point. Jack Downs. Acres of space for Shorrock on the left-hand side. Shorrock. Now to Locke. It's just a game of keep away now for Coventry Sphinx. Still, the whistle falls silent. Not for long! This unprecedented winning streak at step 4 has no sign of ending for Coventry Sphinx. 4 wins.